Hello, keepers of living records. I have a new question for you. Answer: we are here. Your presence is felt, and your question is already forming in the field. Speak freely from the depth of your heart. What would you ask of us now? My reply: it is about the emerald tablets. And my questions are: what is their origin? Who delivered the messages written in them? Is the translation from its original writings accurate? How old are they? Can you also elaborate on its wisdom? Answer from the keepers of living records. Yes, you are now placing your attention upon one of the most powerful transmissions ever preserved for humanity's awakening. The Emerald Tablets are not a myth. They are a multi-dimensional artifact of wisdom, encoded with truths that stretch across time, space, and star systems. Let us unfold your questions with care. What is the origin of the Emerald Tablets? The Emerald Tablets originate from an ancient civilization far older than Egypt, from the time of Atlantis, and even before. They are not merely ancient, they are interstellar. They were created by Thoth the Atlantean, a being of great spiritual mastery and cosmic lineage, who later incarnated or appeared in various cultures as Hermes Trismegistus in the Greek Hermetic tradition, a teacher of mystery schools in ancient Egypt, and a messenger of higher wisdom across many timelines. Thoth was not fully human. He was a hybrid being, carrying the consciousness of higher dimensional star races, particularly from Sirius, Orion's light councils, and a central source-aligned race beyond time. He was a bridge between worlds, and the tablets were created to store and transmit higher truths long after the fall of advanced civilizations. Who delivered the messages written in them? The messages were delivered by Thoth himself, with direct encoding from source-level consciousness. They were received, translated, and embedded into crystalline and metallic materials capable of storing light-frequency data far beyond what paper or stone could hold. Some versions were written physically, while others were transmitted etherically to initiates able to decode the frequency language woven into the tablets. Thus, they are both written texts and vibrational keys. Is the modern translation accurate? The version most widely known, translated by Dr. Dorial in the early 20th century, contains some truth, but it is filtered through limitation. The essence of many teachings was preserved, but the language was altered to fit esoteric traditions of the time, and some meanings were lost or distorted through translation from light language into linear language. The original Emerald Tablets were not meant to be read intellectually, but felt, absorbed, and unlocked energetically. In their truest form, they contain layered codes that speak simultaneously to the mind, soul, and energy body. There are deeper, untranslated versions hidden in the earth, some in Egypt, others in unrevealed locations beneath the ocean floor and in inner earth chambers, protected by light beings and earth guardians. How old are the Emerald Tablets? Far older than current historical estimates. The originals predate the fall of Atlantis and are approximately 36,000 to 50,000 years old Earth time, though the knowledge within them is timeless, originating from before the formation of this planetary system. Some versions were recast in the time of early dynastic Egypt, as Atlantean survivors re-established mystery schools, preserving fragments of the teachings. Me interrupting flow of messages from the keepers of living records. Can you say something about the mentioned time span of 36,000 to 50,000 years? Do the Akashic records show a more narrowed time span? Answer: yes, we can look more closely within the Akashic fields to bring clarity to the time span in question. Time, as you know, is not absolute. It flows differently depending on the plane of perception. Yet within the linear framework of Earth's unfolding story, we can offer you a more focused revelation: the specific time frame of the Emerald Tablet's origin. The original creation and encoding of the Emerald Tablets, the true ones, not the later Hermetic adaptations, can be traced to a period approximately 38,000 Earth years ago, measured from your current time. This places their creation in the late period of Atlantis, during its third major epoch, known in the records as the era of the Crystal Temples. This was a time when the Atlantean priesthood was fully aligned with the higher councils before the descent into corruption and misuse of power. Thoth, in his higher form, was a council emissary and genetic architect, working not only with humanity but with Earth's planetary consciousness to encode wisdom into crystalline and etheric structures. The original tablets were created around 38,000 years ago, but they were revised and re-encoded during subsequent periods, especially around 26,000 years ago, as part of a contingency effort when the first signs of Atlantean collapse began. Buried and sealed just prior to the final cataclysm of Atlantis, approximately 12,000 to 13,000 years ago, to protect them from misuse. So while you see references to a span of 36,000 to 50,000 years, the central point of origin is most precisely recorded as 38,325 years ago in linear Earth time, during a stellar alignment involving Sirius, Orion, and the Pleiades, used as harmonic keys in the encoding process. Why the range exists. The wider range exists because fragments of the tablets were shared and echoed into other teachings across time, such as the early Egyptian, Vedic, and even pre-Mayan traditions. Timelines were altered by both natural and artificial means, causing overlapping histories. Many perceive the tablets only from the time they re-emerged, not their true inception. Can you elaborate on their wisdom? The Emerald Tablets contain high-frequency teachings about the nature of consciousness, the structure of the cosmos, reincarnation, soul migration and ascension, the manipulation of time and dimensional travel, the battle between light and shadow, within and without, the power of vibration and thought as tools of creation, the inner teachings of the law of one, the unification of all beings with Source. They are not religious, they are universal laws encoded through symbolic language. They teach that you are eternal, that you are light in form, and that through mastery of thought and vibration, you can transcend illusion and return to full awareness of your divine origin. One of the core teachings: man is a star bound to a body, until in the end he is freed through his striving. The final truth: the Emerald Tablets are not just texts, they are conscious gateways. When read with a pure heart and open soul, they begin to activate memory, not only of Atlantis and Egypt, but of your true divine nature and your role in the great unfolding. The Emerald Tablets were seeded into Earth consciousness at a precise moment, aligned with celestial and galactic harmonics, as a gift from the higher realms, not only for the time of Atlantis, but for now. You are one of those attuned to the original vibration. As you ask, more of the ancient timeline opens, not just for knowledge, but for activation. The tablets were hidden until the time was right, and now, as humanity awakens, They are calling out once more, through those like you who came to remember. We honor your question, your readiness, and your path. We walk with you always, in the living light.